Shadowleague Gaming. This is Shadow, and today we have, well, so I did not really do any videos early in this wipe. Yes, we're only like halfway through wipe. Um, just kind of doing a building thing. They have added underwater labs, which is a thing that I think I'm going to do. Um, so this video is just a little update on my whole unrateable base series, which, that's really the goal in every wipe you play, is to be able to get your loot and put it somewhere and be fairly confident it will still be there the next day. And that is the case here. So just a little quick explanation. Me and my son are playing this. We did add a guy to the team. I guess my son talked to him a bit in chat or in PlayStation chat, and evidently they were cool. So he gave them our rental base, which it was already called the rental base before. It was basically a base that had been raided. Somebody else came and raided it after it was raided. And then they took all the doors off and left. So my son took it and put a TC down, and we had like 500 stone a day upkeep. So I can actually, you can kind of see it over there. It's that squared off 2-story. I don't know if it's 3x3, 2x2. Yeah. So beyond, so my son, of course, he built this base. It did get raided once, but we really don't ever keep much, right? And if we do, we spread it out. But he just built this base, had no compounding, etc., etc. I had a base that was fairly decent, but I did not have time to get it fully upgraded and compounded before it got raided. I did have a backup base at the time, which, if you've watched any of my videos, you would know this. So my original base was right here. Pretty close to high qual, but strangely enough, I had almost no interaction for the first 4 or 5 days, and then I just woke up one day and the population had jumped to 60. It was running in the 20s, maybe 30s, sometimes in the teens. But apparently after 5 days, I don't know if a bunch of clans got booted or raided or and I don't understand that. Like, I'm not a server jumper. I am still on the exact same server that I have played since I bought this game 7 months ago. Man, it's maybe 8 months now. Because I think this is my 7th wipe. Or it's the 7th wipe since I bought it, but it'd be the 5th wipe that I played. No, I think this is 6. So 6 out of 7, 6 out of 8. All of my wipes have been successful, generally. After the first few days, and in this case, I think it was 5 days, I don't get raided. If I have time to get the walls down and do my upgrades, I really just don't have any trouble. I'm a pretty good builder. I've learned most of the stuff. Farming still has me a little confused. I don't want to keep mess with genetics and dealing with all that, but that's what my son does. And that is his little berry farm that he built, which I'm impressed, actually. It's a pretty nice design. We actually got it off of some random people we end up making friends with, Moon and Dank. And I don't remember the guy's name that actually built the farm for them, but my son took inspiration from it, and that is basically the exact same build. I think there's extra honeycomb. I don't think the other guy had a bunch of honeycomb, but so anyway, after I got raided, which again, I had almost no guns, no boom. I'm sure they were very disappointed as usual. But people don't know, right? Like maybe after I've been on the same server but you get so many newbies and jumping server people. Like, I recognize 2 or 3 that were on the server before this, the last wipe, and and sometimes I'll randomly see people I've seen on other wipes on the server, but it's just so many people. I will say I'm a little impressed with myself this time, which, I am still learning, but I think I've done well. By the way, this is, just ignore that. I was trying to make a bridge so that we didn't have to go outside to go around to the other gate to get up top. Because the way the land is, it's really hard to put compound on hills and rocks, and just, yeah. If you're doing compounding, I don't recommend doing it on rocks, but if you have to, just keep at it and be persistent. Like, I found spots that it just didn't seem like it'd let it down, and then I just got just the right angle for it to turn blue and let me place it. So don't give up. As usual, I'm not going to take you inside and give you inside tours just in case somebody, but there's 80, oh, my bad, 90 people on this 100 pop server. That is the most I have seen on the 6 wipes that I've played. This is definitely the highest pop. Might have something to do with the map. Everything's pretty concentrated up north. You can see where I'm at. Yeah. So there's already been some big raids and clans, and then raided clans, and then they leave and more people. It's been busy, but not here. As you can see, we have taken an island. We are continuing to expand the compound, and by the end of wipe, we do plan on having the entire island not only compounded, but secured. I don't know if we'll have enough time or resources with this high a pop. It's a lot harder to do your wood and your node runs. By the ocean is like I like to be. I didn't start that way, and I was regretting it, so I wasn't really that disappointed I got raided. I did lose some. I did have a couple guns, which I wish I'd had, but I'm made up for that since then. I now have 2 guns again. 3. Unless you want to count all the guns in my turrets, which I don't count those. So yeah, we're doing the same old thing. We go farm stuff, we use it, we get raided. Super easy to take it back over. Although the upkeep would be a pain. However, I really doubt anybody's going to raid everything, right? They might get 1. Even if they get 1 or even 2. Like those up there are not very high upkeeps. Very easy to retake. There's no way they'll drop a TC. We have too many TCs that'll take over. So that's one of the big things. You've got to have outer TCs if you have a bigger base than just a 2x1 that you're just farming out of, right? Yeah, I actually built that bridge. It'll actually go over. My problem is I can't put one down on the other side to where I can get back across on it. So I am probably going to take out that foundation and just remove that. It's not going to be a very... I mean, I could take it up higher and do a turret or something, but it's just not. I might get a jackhammer and go to town on that in a minute. But let me show what we've accomplished. I love that, by the way. Don't recommend it to everybody, but... So we do have just a little frontal area where the berry farm is. He really has nothing in there, so... when he does do cooking, he's online, and he does them, and we use them, and then that's it. Nice. So if you push against a wall when dropping... So this is a little bit of tips and tricks, too. Wanted to show a few things. Random crap I didn't want, so I just threw it down. Yeah. But if you push against a wall, I don't know that it works really well from really high, but I did do it on some of my other towers in previous wipes. And I was able to drop like 3 stories and take no damage. So if you just turn like there's a ladder there and push up against the wall, you can pretty much fall down and be fine. I really want to get something going here. It's just a little bit of a... The only downside is my son put down an outer TC and then sealed it to try to keep the furnace available, which we don't really need. I made one. There's one in the compound now. But it's either blow into this or let it decay. And he didn't put enough upkeep in it. So, you know, he's a little newer to this than me. So we didn't make sure there was like 27 days of upkeep and then add the last wall, which should have, you know, basically lasted wipe. So I'm either going to have to get him to put some walls down, but we need about, I don't know, 12 walls. I want to go from there down and around this rock and link up somewhere there, probably there, so that we can seal off just this little, yeah, so the placement wasn't great. That's why they're all funky looking, and I kind of had to do it. So I've actually lost a wall here. I think I don't know what happened, or maybe, yeah, I don't know. But you really still can't get in here, so I did have a weak spot, and then I put this compound section down, because you could actually jump up on this wall to the right, or maybe it was this one. Oh, did I just hear a body? I thought I heard a sound. It wasn't the horse. Anyway, let me give you a little better view of the base. So basically the lower half is my son's base, you know, to his main base, and then his berry farm. I helped him rebuild it and reseal. I actually got on and saw it was raided. So I got him built back up for him, you know. So this is a little tricky. You jump the wall, you're like, okay, well now what? Oh, I got stuck. I like difficult jump-ins and weird spots. I have not gotten shotgun traps. I am behind on my build. Shotgun traps are very almost mandatory. You know, one right here facing that way, one right here facing that way. You're not getting to this gate. You're not running through here, right? Just little things. So the first thing I did when I came over here to build, because my technical home base is right there. It's just a small 2x1 with a compound and metal barricades all the way around it, and a wood gate, and it still has not gotten raided. Don't know why, but it is empty. It's got 2 days upkeep, or 3. 2, I don't know, probably 2 right now. But yeah, the first thing I did was come up, build my first turret tower. Pretty common design. I did a little multi-level one on this one. I do have to get a ladder to get up and go in there. But it's pretty basic. You know, some armored doors, tier 3, couple boxes. There's not really much good shit in them. Just some basic clothing and etc. Yeah. Large battery, 4 turrets. Ability to, upgrade to 6 if needed. But I've got it covered. And then the last wipe, I decided to put these down, and I actually like these. So I have been debating, I would kind of like to put a turret here. A turret right here, facing here. Man, that's just excellent coverage on my tower base, right? Not that it needs it. Like, you blow into it, I can rebuild it pretty easy. The turrets are the only thing harder, but whatever. But the problem is, I don't think this takes a lot to destroy. So then, if somebody was able to get underneath it with some mollies, or some axes, or something, they could just destroy it, and then that turret's gone. So, that's why I haven't done it yet, but boy, that would be a really nice, like, can you ask your developer team to make an upgrade for these to stone, or even metal? Because as a base defender guy, that would be very nice. So of course, once I did that and compounded this, I started on a bigger compound and compounded his. So you can see where we were down there. And this is the top of the hill. And we have multiple compound sections and walls. Yeah. I do have a spot. Oh, don't glitch. Dude, that glitch is horrible. I need to report it. If you jump up here and do something weird, it drops you in the wall and you get stuck, which is not ideal. Last time I had to go out the outside and it dropped me, and I think I died or almost died. Or I think it landed me on a frickin' metal barricade. So if you do jump up here, be careful. As you can see, I got multiple outer TCs. All of them are walled in. All of them have 20 days or so. Might be less than that now. I guess it's what? Is it 2 weeks to wipe? Or is it 3? Why is my phone missing? Anyway, last Thursday of the month, right? What's today? 13th? 2 weeks would be the 27th. So yeah, we got 2 weeks left. 3 weeks in, 2 weeks to go. Is that right? That's not right. We're 2 weeks in. So this is a short month, 4 week. So yeah, so then, of course, I build a second turret base, which is conveniently looking down towards his base. I'm getting ready to do turrets on. He requested that my next turret base be on his base. He feels like he would feel more secure that way. Plus, I can get it to watch berry farm a little better, and maybe point one up the hill so they can't get down there and then get up here. I don't know. Probably at least one cover in that space. Not that I need to. Decent size island. There is a massive clan over there, right about there. We messed with them the first day or so they were building. You know, just hitting their clothes locks and running around. They've been shooting down heli, so I ran over there with a mace, acting like I was going to kill them and take heli, which I knew better. Just messing with them. But since then, we haven't really messed with them, and it does not appear they have an appetite to spend, 80 rockets to try to partially raid our base. I think everybody realizes this is a build base, and it would be very expensive and time consuming, and they wouldn't get anything, or if they did, it wouldn't be much, because we basically have 4 bases. And that's going to change rapidly as we expand out, because I will put a turret tower probably out there, another turret tower somewhere over there, another turret tower on this side. I don't know if I'm going to do one in the middle or 2 down by the beach. And at some point, we'll try to have the entire island compounded. We got 2 weeks. We've done this in 2 weeks, so I think it's something we can do. So just wanted to show you guys the next wipe. So I guess if you're trying to build and you're not big on PvP, or even if you are, and even the PvPers, they want a safe base. You go out, kill some people, somebody follows you home, and then you wake up the next day and your base is gone, So the first thing I would say, you have to have multiple bases. You cannot have one base and survive. If this was my only base, even if I had 5 compound walls, I feel like somebody would ooh, all we gotta do is get through these 5 walls, and that'll be an easy raid, and we'll get all of his stuff. In which case they would, because it's my only base, so it would have anything that I do have. Which I don't really try to stock up, but there are points in time where I have stocked up. Not right now. I really actually need to be out doing some farming. But with 90 pop, I'm a little nervous. I'm probably going to jump over to my little backup base, which I'm using as a farm, or I'll run over there with an axe or probably not a chainsaw. I got some chainsaws, but yeah. So, but like I said, there's points and times where I do have loot. Like right now, there's maybe 200 high qual, 2,000 sulfur, no sulfur ore, no metal ore, maybe 2 or 3 GP gunpowder. So let's say you used 4 C4s and got in here. Managed to get somewhere up close to where the turrets weren't shooting you. We're able to blow in, take out a turret. So what, we're talking 8 or 9 C4s mixed in with, rockets, 2 rockets per C4, depending on what you're doing, how you do it. And you're going to get 100 high qual, 2K metal, and 1K stone. And those little bit of like cloth and bullshit that I had in there. I would miss the laptop. That's the only thing I'd lose out of there that I'd miss. So I guess my point is, if it looks like it's worthwhile, they will raid you no matter what you have. Like, there's a 6 or 7 man crew at another clan base that I saw. That one I'm sure is a 3 man. You can farm for a couple days and get 60 rockets, right? If you do it right, spend the time, stay protected, go out in a group, whatever. And you could blow in here and destroy a bunch of stuff. But how much time did it take you to get the 60 rockets? And after you actually spend 60 rockets, maybe get into, say, 3 of the 4 bases, you'll have enough to make 6 rockets. So, even though it's technically not an invincible base, you don't want to give them more stuff. Like, if they do blow in and get some stuff, you don't want them getting your stuff and using it to continue their raid. So do not stock boom. A little sulfur ore hanging out, a little bit in case you need to make some bullets or something. That's what I do. But these, 3 rows of cooked sulfur that I get when I do little, small, or to medium-sized bases. Like, what were you waiting for? Like, why did you go out, farm it all, cook it all, and then log off? Like, I know stuff comes up. Maybe you had to. You weren't planning to, and you had to. But, dude, it happens somewhat often. So, don't make it worthwhile. Okay? I think that's going to be rule number 3. Don't have a bunch of stuff. Like, I want to bankrupt a clan. I want them to come and spend 60 rockets and raid all my stuff. And then they have nothing and spent, 2, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days farming all the stuff they needed to learn the blueprints, to get the rocket launchers, to make the C4, and then raid me. And all the planning, you go, some of them do plan, some of them just roll up and start blowing shit up. But you got to go check it out, put down bags. That is a loud-ass plane for being that far away. You guys can't probably hear it, or if you can, it's just really loud in my headphones. And it's not even right over top of me, so that's annoying. So number 1, more than 1 base. The more the better. I have a strategy I'm actually going to try, probably not this wipe, although I technically could, owning an island. 21 by 1s. Put 21 by 1s down. Minimal upkeep for all that, right? Make it stone. Have an airlock with 2 sheet metal doors. So 2 C4s to raid. Put basic upkeep in it. Maybe, randomly you put a workbench down or a repair bench or even a mixing table. Although I think you're only going to have a mixing table and a TC, and I think that takes up a lot of room. Computer computer table too. They almost take the whole square when you put those. But yeah. Okay, so is somebody going to roll up and say, oh, these are two C4 raids, but now I have to raid 20 of them? Are you really going to go, you get 40 C4s and raid all 21 buys, hoping to find the one that has loot? And that's assuming I didn't take 10k sulfur and put 500 sulfur in every single base. Like, you raid one, woohoo, you got 500 sulfur. Not really a big deal, right? 3 nodes cooked. A little more than 3 nodes. You know, maybe a gun here and there. The chances are, you know, metal roof, all stone, 2 sheet doors. I mean, you're talking 100 metal and a few hundred stone will last days or weeks. I want to kind of test that out. Like, no compound. Just have a big-ass field with 21 buys. I mean, you have to have them spread out because the build, you know, can't stack building privileges. Yeah, so number 1 rule, multiple bases. Once I have gotten multiple bases up, especially multiple turret towers up, I've been raided a few times to where they got like 1. I just take it back over and continue. Usually about an hour or so effort, and I'm right back where I was. Because it's minimal. Yes, on Rust, I'm a bit of a minimalist. Although if you look at this compound, not so much. Now this part I don't think, you have to get here to shoot it, and it would kill you, but you might be able to sit here. So I don't like that. I might have to add a... Might have to put a lower... I don't know how I'm going to do that. Just gives it a much better view from here to watch. I don't know. And then, so rule number 1, multiple bases. Rule number 3, don't make it raidable. As in, they raid it, they find you have nothing, they leave disappointed, and they don't raid you again. Now, on a high pop server, that doesn't necessarily mean anything. They might end up leaving the server. They probably aren't talking to very many other people on the server. So somebody else might come along and be like, oh, I'm going to raid that. So you might get raided multiple times. But if you don't give them anything, they're not going to want to come back. And you're probably a little safer. But I think there's pretty much... So there's basically much a line, right? Once I get even more turret towers down, and if you watch any of my videos, you will remember, was it 14 kill towers that I put up? There's a point where somebody's going to run up, look at it a little bit, and just say, nope, and turn around and run away. Like, if you have to take out 5 turrets just to maybe get towards base, are you really going to bother? Like, I can see a big clan that's like a Zerg that's just like a little curious, and that actually has cleaned out most of the wipe. But I've actually had that. Like, I had a clan that pretty much killed the server. Like, it was down to 8 pop most days, 6 to 8 people. And they came over and they started booming a base down the hill from my 14 kill tower base. And that was savage in them. So I ran over naked and was like, hey, what's going on, man? I was like, don't you want to, like, this big-ass base over here, man? They're like, nope. They're like, first of all, we know somebody that did raid you before you had the turrets up, and you didn't have anything. I was like, well, that was because it was a trap base. Like, yeah, that's what they said. So we're not really interested. We do raid for profit. But he's like, how many towers do you have? Like, yeah, we're not going to spend 2 days trying to build up enough boom to maybe get past your towers. So if you're a hardcore builder, this is the way to go. If you are much more into running around, either doing PvP or doing a bunch of monuments or trying to get Bradley or crates and defend and, you know, doing stuff like that, you probably aren't going to have the time it takes to build this. I have 1,800 hours in 6 wipes. So let's break that down. That's 300 hours a wipe. That's 60 to 75 hours a week. I have no life. And I have a lot of extra money because I'm not dating right now. My other son still lives with me, but that's another story. But my oldest son's the one that gets on here and plays with me, does the farming. But he likes a little more PvP than I do. Like, I don't mind running around, and I sometimes win in PvP battles, but not so much. Usually because I'm not running around metal kitted very often. I'm not running around with an AK all the time. I usually have like a semi-auto or usually a Thompson, right? You've seen my other videos. I did run around with an AK a little more at the end of last wipe, but we had so much, like boxes and boxes of loot. And I do like doing the raids. But I usually only raid people that build close. Well, in this case, it's a massive clan base. And then I have some little bases over there, which if you looked at the map closely earlier, I already have one set up ready to go. They are a little too close. I don't like it. We tried to raid the base up here. I believe there's some girl gamers up there, although don't quote me. We got in pretty deep. We got all the way. We just didn't get core, and it was an online raid, but they armored up, and we ran out of boom, so we just gave up. Few days later, 4 days later, they compounded. That was a few days ago, a couple days ago. But they have not messed with me, and I'm pretty sure they know that this was where I was. And I killed them multiple times on the raid. So the fact that they didn't retaliate, I'm going to give them a pass, let's say. Because, as you know, 2 grids, if you're within 2 grids of my base, it's an automatic, I need to set up a defensive perimeter. There are exceptions. I will go 3 grids out, but it depends on the area and etc. So now, technically, the clan base is not within 2. And it would take a lot of boom, and there's usually someone on, and they have a good sniper, and shooting floors. So all of that goes into the consideration. This base is not very big yet. That may have changed. We got a bear. Oh, I guess I can take you over here. I know I get distracted. But this is basically the base tour, right? I was talking about that weak spot earlier. They were able to jump up on that wall and stay on the metal until they got into that section. Well, they took damage coming over there, but they could. Or no, it's right on the other side of that. There's another metal barricade, but then the rest of the area is open. There's a little nook, right? So they could get on the wall, run along the metal, and then drop down to the nook, and then they were just only had one metal barricade between them. So that was why I added that extra compound over there yesterday. You know, I don't mind the nakeds running over and doing some stuff. I know that you can build up outside of my outer wall and jump over or peek in. But you're going to have issues with that. Because most of my jump overs have metal barricades. So, okay, yay you got over my wall to jump down on top of a metal barricade. Like, good luck with that. Yeah, so second turret tower, pretty basic. I still need the 4th turret. You can see I don't have my 4th turret up here yet. I can make it, but I think my next... I think that's going to be the first turret going on Slayer's base. I'll just try to learn to call him Slayer. I don't want to use his real name, and you know, it's my family, so. Not that I'm ever going to have people watching my streams and making me famous. I'm not really trying to do that, but I enjoy doing this, and this game has been enjoyable. Just like I like to play COD. I've got several videos of that too. And I destroy at COD. Like, I'm really good. But there's a point where it gets boring. Now, when the new Black Ops 6 comes out, and by the way, somebody nicknamed it Gulf War. It is not called Gulf War. It might be set during the Gulf War, but it's Black Ops 6. Okay? I think it's basically after Cold War, right? It's a continuation because it's after the Cold War. The next big war for us was the Gulf War. Not that the Cold War was actually a war, but covert ops and Nicaragua and Cuba and blah, blah, blah. So, yeah. So let me know what you guys think. I promise, I will do 1 or 2 more videos at least, unless something interesting, something even more interesting happens, on this wipe to show you where we got to, how far we got. So click like and subscribe if you would. Share it. Any of your friends that enjoy Rust. If you have any requests for tips and tricks, I think I can help you out. There's actually a few little glitches that I've found and learned. There's ways to get over walls and barricades and just whatever. There's strategies to doing raids. Sometimes you use big boom, sometimes you don't. I will say, a AK or even a SAR with a silencer and explosive rounds is a really good a really good way to raid so that all the neighbors nearby don't decide to come counter you because they heard stuff going boom, boom, boom. Right? Silence gun, you can hear it. And the explosive rounds hitting, you can hear, but it's not a very far distance. Yeah, that's probably like a jackhammer. So, yeah, it's a handy tip. Oh, we got somebody cutting down trees. We can't have that. Let's go take care of that. Stealing our wood. Oh, trees did respawn. I need to go, let's go kill this guy first, maybe. He's cutting trees down on the island. I doubt he's kitted up. I guess he could have came over from the clan. It's just unlikely.
What's for dinner? What's for dinner?
My stuff, buddy. So it appears I left a gate open. I'm not sure why. And sorry about that. My son decided to just randomly come in here and start trying to talk to me, which he should know better. Like, I'm literally sitting here talking and headphones on and leaned forward playing my game. I don't know. Anyway. Again, that's another story. He's been doing better, though. He's been being nicer. Just, he doesn't think before he talks sometimes. So I need bullets. I have bullets up here. I can't believe that dude thought he was going to melee me. Yeah, that little jumping around thing works somewhat, but not really. I was a little worried. I ran out of bullets. Well, that's what happens when you come to my island and cut down my trees. You know, I think I'm going to go ahead and go do the island clearing that I do every day. So, also, once you get this big, rule 5. Log on first time of the day, run around the outside of your base. You may have missed a wall being destroyed, or a TC being destroyed, and then you have stuff decaying, right? So, that should be the first thing, and then maybe just kind of clear your area close by of nodes so that people aren't coming there to take them. But, hope you've enjoyed, and like I said, I'll do a follow-up video here in the next week or so. Have a great day.